Do you own a home or have plans to in the future? Don't miss the Dino and Nelson Show, Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. on Money Radio, KTLK AM 1150. You'll get all the information you need to know about what's happening in the local real estate market and how to take advantage of that knowledge. How to approach home ownership or mortgage financing with design, vision, and focus, as well as accurate information. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, listen to Real Estate Radio with Dino and Nelson Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. right here on Money Radio, KTLK, AM 1150.
Good afternoon, Southern California. This is Dino from the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk, AM 1150. My partner and good buddy over here, Nelson, usually comes up with some really interesting stories for the week, and so I'm going to let him take it away. Hot off the net, brought to you by Fish and Escrow Services.
Dino, we're going right to your club, the Billionaire Club. Forbes magazine just announced in March who the top 100 billionaires are in the country and or in the world, and I looked all through the top 100. I didn't see your name, so you must have just slipped out of that. But as you can imagine, there's the Warren Buffetts and the Paul Allens and, of course, Microsoft and Steve Forbes and so forth. But interestingly enough, the reason I latched onto the Billionaire Club is how much of these empires, these financial empires, are pointing towards real estate right now. And they're dumping in money in these what I would call super funds, investing in real estate, whether it's on the commercial side or residential side. They're putting money in.
Well, not too long ago, I actually just read a thing from Warren Buffett saying that if he could suggest anything to anybody right now, it would be buying single-family residences, as many as you can get, which I thought was interesting. And Warren Buffett, and I remember before the downfall, 4 or 5 years ago, he actually came out and I think he had a place in Laguna Beach that he sold, and he came out and publicly announced, I would sell. It's time to get out, overinflated. It's just too much. Now he's back in, and he's suggesting everybody get back in.
It'll be interesting to see if the youngest billionaires, I don't know if you know this, but 4 of the top 5 youngest billionaires, age 30 or down, are from where? What do you think?
Southern California, probably.
Well, from Facebook.
Oh, there you go.
There you have it. So you have this young empire of 26, 27, 28 years old that are now in this billionaire club. And gosh, are they first-time home buyers?
Well, speaking of like Facebook and the whole internet thing, if you haven't checked out our website at www.thedinoandnelsonshow.com, I think one day that might just be worth $1 billion.
Yeah,
I personally have put a lot of time into it, and I'm kind of proud. So
I'll be your driver. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. A couple other things I wanted to point out. Going right back to Orange County. You remember the original Orange County Housewives show?
Correct.
And Gina Keogh, being one of the original housewives, is selling her estate, asking $3.5 million. The home was saved from default with a loan modification, and the quote that Gina came out with is that she's tired of rambling around her 8,000 square foot estate alone.
Well, that's your old neighbor, isn't it?
It is. It is. I raised one of her sons, and she's actually a wonderful woman and been engaged in the real estate sector for a number of years now. But she's now looking to sell her home, $3.5 million. She had it listed previously for $5.5 million, but obviously there were no takers. So, and then I noted out of Bloomberg, going to the political side of things, there was some hallway discussion that Romney is intending to eliminate mortgage interest deductions on second homes. And you hear these kinds of dialogue floating around in terms of, is interest going to remain tax deductible or not? Would Romney ever do something like that?
Well, I'm biased because of where we live, and in Southern California, we have a lot of second homes, whether it be the desert or somewhere on the beach or something like that. Let's face it, though, the majority of middle America do not have second homes. So it really won't affect them that much. However, it'll affect us. So, yeah, I think it's possible, and I think he's probably trying to appeal to the masses. But for us here in Southern California, I think that would be extremely bad for our market, because we do have that whole Palm Desert, Palm Springs area.
The mountain areas.
The mountain areas, absolutely.
Ma and Pa America not impacted.
Yep.
All right. I also noted out of the OC Register, LA and OC home prices dip for the 7th straight month. This is out of the S&P Case and Shiller home price index, but it showed 7 consecutive months of dropping prices. So have we hit bottom? Or have we not?
Okay, so now I'm confused because just last week and the week before, we actually sat and talked about how prices have been going up.
In certain pocket areas of Southern California, we do have the statistics pointing that, but apparently countywide, we're still seeing a downtick in home values. I think our guest later will be able to illuminate on that and tell us, all right, what's fact, what's fiction. But Case and Schiller is saying 7 months in a row.
Well, and like you said, it's all pockets because at the end of the day, there's some areas that have gone up significantly. Some I think that have gone down. In fact, I think because I'm a little jaded and maybe ultra optimistic because of the area we live in, and I see the market getting better. I see multiple offers on houses. I see us actually for the first time in a long time having a hard time appraising a house for the sales price because they're starting to go up. Whereas at the end of the day, I guess there still are areas that are not being positively affected yet.
Is that a category? The jaded optimist? I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Yeah, that's the silence I was looking for.
Come hang out for dinner. I'll show you.
Yeah, all right. Couple of economic news pieces out of CNN Money. This is just from this past week. Ben Bernanke, our Federal Reserve Chairman.
Excellent. And you're in the loan business, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Bernanke boosts Bernanke. I'm going to butcher another name.
I remember Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, whatever.
A few weeks
ago.
All right,
the
remember?
Feds vote 9-1 to reaffirm pledge to keep short-term interest rates at record lows through 2014. So the messaging there is that these low interest rates are going to be around for a while.
That's the message, but I guess we'll see what happens, right? Though, actually, one thing you got to remember there, because I'd like to tell all the listeners, you hear that and you think that you're going to have this unbelievable interest rate dip below 4% because they just came and announced that they're going to stay low. Staying low doesn't mean it's going to be lower than what it is now. Staying low just means it's going to be, I think, somewhere between 4 and 5%.
In this range.
In case you just stepped into your car, you're listening to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. You can reach us at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or at the DinoandNelsonShow.com.
The billionaire web address. I like that.
That's right.
Couple other quick notes on the economic front. World Bank they announced food getting more expensive internationally, and I latched onto that just to ask you. One of the things that we know from being in the mortgage business for so long is that interest rates are keyed to inflation.
Right.
And now we're seeing inflation clearly in the energy costs and now trickling into food costs. Is inflation here? Is that going to drag interest rates up?
I don't know. I warn my clients of that, but I don't have the crystal ball, and I can't. I'm not. I remember it, but I was still quite a bit of a youngster back then. You could probably tell the story a little bit better about way back when the interest rates were what?
In the teens?
In the teens, the high teens. The gas lines were down the street.
Exactly.
And if that does happen again, we're going to have some serious trouble.
Yeah. I hate to admit it, but I was talking about that just this morning in terms of when I entered the mortgage market, fixed rates had just dipped below 15%. And people were saying at that time, oh, great interest rates are here again. So it's a different perspective. LA Times reports that lowball offers are declining in some markets. The lowball offer, at least in their definition, were offers that were being made 25% below asking price. And there seemed to be that sentiment out there with the consumer of, hey, why not? Let's see if I get lucky.
Which
but it seems to be declining.
I'm extremely happy that that's happening because all that did was waste everybody's time. That was just a whole BS way of going about things, and it does not create a better environment. And it also creates a lot of false environments because people think one thing and it's just not reality.
Before we break here, I want to point out one other piece. This is out of Forbes. And the question was asked, is mortgage qualifying getting tougher? And here's a couple averages that Forbes announced. Average down payments are at 22% or a 78% loan to value as far as financing is concerned, and average FICO scores at 764. So it's kind of still sending the message that, gosh, financing is available just for the top tier.
So the average FICO score is over 700. Is that for people qualifying for a house or just in America?
Qualifying, well, yes, we're talking about the United States. Thanks, Dino.
No. I mean, in general, that means everybody, even if they're not buying a house, or that credit score applies only to people that had just qualified for a loan.
With financing engaged,
right.
Correct.
Yeah, and so the whole other majority of them can't qualify for a loan because they don't have that. I'd still say the average credit score in the United States is significantly less than that.
Probably so.
So we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be speaking to Steve and Sandy Powers from the McMonigle team at Teles Properties. Meanwhile, if you just stepped into your car, this is the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335. 888-814-3335. Or you can visit us on the web, thedinoandnelsonshow.com.
You want to invest in today's real estate market and take advantage of the low values, but the property needs work. What do? Polaris Equity Group provides an answer with its market-exclusive 100% rehab program. The Polaris loan covers the purchase price, down payment, rehab budget, 6 months of interest, and lender's costs, all in exchange for a profit split between you and us. Call Polaris Equity Group to hear more about it. 949-727-4333. That's 949-727-4333. Take advantage of their exclusive 100% rehab program. 949-727-4333. Or find us online at polarisequitygroup.com.
Is there really a simple mortgage process? The answer is yes. At First Centennial Mortgage, our customers save money and close their loans quickly because we use the most advanced mortgage technology available and deliver the best rates and terms as a result, offering 30-year fixed rates below 4% and 10-year fixed rates below 3%, all guaranteed on the kickoff of your application. Call 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or apply online at thedinoandnelsonshow.com.
We have reviewed your application for credit, and at this time, we are unable to approve you. The dreaded credit denial letter. You've had strong credit, but life got in the way and companies are turning you down. The Dino and Nelson Show has a solution with Saving My Credit. Saving My Credit offers highly skilled specialists and a research methodology that is consistently applied to improving your financial situation. Nagging collection accounts, late pays, tax liens, bankruptcies, charge-offs are some of the many examples of negative reporting that leads to credit denial. Saving My Credit applies rigorous energy, experience, and resourcefulness to raise your credit score. Your credit is approved. It would feel so much better, wouldn't it? Contact Saving My Credit at 714-699-4680 or savingmycredit.com. That's 714-699-4680, 714-699-4680, or online at savingmycredit.com. The Dino and Nelson Show is brought to you by Best Chauffeured. Best Chauffeured offers personal chauffeur services for corporate events, large and small, and all types of people, not just celebrities. So next time you just want to relax and enjoy the ride, please call on Best Chauffeured Worldwide. It's effortless transportation and first-class service every time. Call 866-323-BEST. That's 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com. Mention KTLK's Dino and Nelson Show and receive a special discount. 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com.
In such a chaotic real estate market, don't you want peace of mind on the home you're purchasing? Roadrunner Exterminating is a family-owned and operated company providing structural repairs, local treatments, and fumigation. And you can feel confident because Roadrunner Exterminating is licensed, bonded, and insured, and are experts in termite and pest control. For fast and efficient service, plus the peace of mind on knowing the condition of your new home, call Roadrunner Exterminating at 866-398-2847. That's 866-398-2847 or on the web at roadrunnerexterminating.com. As always, mention the Dino and Nelson Show and get a free home inspection. 866-398-2847 or roadrunnerexterminating.com.
This is Nelson from the Dino and Nelson Show, and finally, finally a reputable legal firm. CDA Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435. 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435 or online at cdalawcenter.com.
Welcome back to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150 every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. We can be reached at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or at thedinoandnelsonshow.com. We want to introduce the Powers Team, brought to you by First Centennial Mortgage, but I am not going to do the introduction here because my good friend Nelson knows them personally and would like to, give them the proper introduction.
You know, Dino, I'm really excited. And one of the cornerstones of launching the show is that we wanted to bring fact and fiction to the separate fact from fiction. Thank you. Separate fact and fiction and just bring this sense of reality of where we are in the market, getting truth pushed out so that we can understand what's happening for real in the marketplace. And the Powers Team is just an exceptional example of people that are resident experts. They know their marketplace. They have a long-standing history. Listen to a couple of these credentials. The Powers Team, it's part of the McMonigle Group at Teles Properties, which is the #1 selling residential real estate team for the past 4 years in the world.
In the world.
In the world. Not a bad credential. $1.5 billion of luxury properties sold. And I learned this just today on the drive up. Steve and Sandy Powers have now crossed the $1 billion mark just in their sales activity. So that's a few properties.
Well, let's call Forbes magazine. My goodness.
I know.
We got billionaires here with us.
So with that, Steve and Sandy, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So let me ask a couple questions. We've been focusing in our previous shows, and we talked about this on the drive up. There's so much focus on distressed properties and real estate owned and foreclosures, and you've gone to the opposite side of the spectrum. You're in the luxury market, correct?
That is correct.
And
yes.
What is a luxury market? What's that defined by? It's something where Dino lives. Is that where you are in the luxury market?
Used to be.
Used to be. Yeah, that's right. I think I was part of your wait staff, wasn't I? So the luxury market. How do you define it?
We really define it, Nelson, as being over $1 million, and in particular pockets of Orange County where we specifically work, you will find the luxury market at $1 million. If you go to Newport, of course, it's going to be a higher price point. Anything along the coast, but you're talking over $1 million for sure because the market has dropped down quite a bit. So that's
and in the Newport market specifically, it's much higher. It's up
of course it is
2.9 million, I think, on average.
Yeah, that's right.
And so with that market, you're also focused on the traditional sale. So you're not really chasing after the distressed properties, the real estate owned. You're working just on people that have money to place as a down payment, either cash and financing or just all cash, right?
That's correct. And what you'll find is most people will be wanting to move up in this market to that luxury because you have gotten an amazing discount on where those prices have come down to. So you're seeing a lot of cash buyers out in the marketplace in the high end, and you're seeing great deals in that high end. I mean, we just sold one through McMonigle where it was listed at like $22 million, ended up going out at $9.5 million.
A steal.
Total steal.
Yeah.
The Walmart of luxury homes at $9 million, right?
Why didn't you call me? What's wrong with
All
you?
right, we've got your number now.
Goodness.
All right, we've got others that'll work.
We bring you up here in a limo, and you don't even call us for the deals.
So a completely different marketplace with the coastal communities is predominantly your focus, ranging from Long Beach all the way down to Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, obviously. That's your marketplace, correct?
That is correct. We started out in Huntington as our primary area of business, but we have branched out all along the coast now and have some amazing high-end properties in Long Beach. I'll let my husband sort of identify a property we have on the market now for $9.4 million in Naples, and all the way, into Huntington, Corona Del Mar, Newport, and even we've sold homes in the higher end in Laguna Beach as well.
In case you just jumped into your car, you're listening to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or at the DinoandNelsonShow.com. We're speaking with Steve and Sandy Powers from the Powers team. And Nelson has a bunch of great questions he wants to ask him. However, I can't stand it anymore. I have one big question that I got to ask Steve. How many members are in your team?
We have 9 at the present time.
9 members. How many are male? How many?
You got me there.
How the heck do you do it? You got 8 women sitting around you all the time.
Estrogen warfare.
Actually, they call me Charlie.
Charlie, huh?
And they are all my angels, that's for sure.
I love it. Well, that alone, forget the $1 billion sales that I heard earlier. Forget everything else. That's what I love about you.
I am blessed.
Yes, you are.
Well, these high-end properties, I'm always intrigued with just the kinds of real estate that you have a privilege to represent. Obviously, you meet some interesting personalities that have had whatever successes in all different branches of business or in the marketplace. But I saw a couple of properties that I looked through online over this past week. One I just wanted to ask about. Actually, I have 3 here that I wanted to ask about. One was up in Palos Verde Estates, the Chateau Del Mar. $11.9 million listing, is that correct?
That is correct.
And what's the property like?
That is one of 7 properties that is right on the ocean front, on the cliff. It has views of the whole Queen's Necklace. It's incredibly private. It is owned by a lady from Turkey, and
right?
She's raised her 2 daughters here, and it's quite an estate.
And it's right on the bluff.
Right on the bluff.
She's on her tiptoes staring out at Japan.
That is correct.
Very nice. I like it. And is it a large property, or is it just the location of the property itself that makes it so valuable?
It's a large property that was designed and created by Colcourt, who is one of premier designers of, I would say, French chateau type properties.
Right.
It's one worth seeing.
Yeah, sounds like it. And then Sandy, you mentioned this, but moving down into Naples, this is a bayfront property, $9.45 million. What's that property like?
That property is incredible. It's on a double lot, which is very unusual. It has
hard to find.
Very hard to find. It has a huge outdoor living area. The whole first floor of that property was designed to service the outdoor living and coming off your boat or boats. This particular property can house 3 boats in its docks because it is on a double lot.
Right.
How big is the dock?
We have 3 that are 40 feet, but the yachts that can go in there could be up to 65 feet.
Okay.
It has a downstairs kitchen, which, again, is strictly used for your outdoor entertaining. On the second floor, you have your living area, which is incredible. And this particular property is, I would say, the best location in all of Naples.
Oh, especially with the double lot. What a rare treat that must be. So you have that sense of space. You're on the bayfront, and it's a fabulous property.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's interesting with custom homes, and I'm certain you've seen this over the years. You have the influence oftentimes of the homeowner that's building these homes, and some of them are just north of fabulous, and others are maybe a swing and a miss. I saw one Laguna Beach estate that was up on the bluff. It was not beachfront, but it was up on the bluff, had this fantastic lot, 180-degree view of the ocean. They built all of their bathrooms and closets on the ocean side so that they would have canyon views. And now, how does that make sense? Do you see stuff like that? It just, where you walk a property and go, oh, what are they thinking?
That happens all the time.
It does happen.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, and this is I'm certain out of Dino's balance sheet. We have the Palomar Ranch. It's a fly-in mountain ranch. Tell me a little bit about that.
This particular property sits on top of Palomar Mountain, and it's been named Ranch to the Stars because, as you know, that particular area, the stars are beautiful. It's like being out in the middle of the desert as far as the clarity. This particular property was built by Mr. Voss many years ago, As a fly-in property, you can land your helicopter on top of the 3-car garage and enter directly into the home. We have 360 acres. That's all cross-fenced. There are 3 homes on the property. The main home, an incredible log cabin across the fields, I would say a quarter of a mile from the main house, as well as the caretaker's property. There's barns, loading chutes, 5 lakes, unlimited water. This particular property is, without a doubt, a steal at just under $6 million.
$6 million for 360 acres of Southern California property.
That is correct.
It seems like there'd be a long line. Did you have a pilot, Dino, or did you land the helicopter yourself when you were living there?
No, heck no. That's the fun. It's all me.
It's all
I like to fly it.
Yeah, wrong way. Sure. Well, I think that's a treat. I mean, to see some of these properties up and down Southern California. You also have an international presence with some listings that are offshore, correct?
Yes, we do. We're blessed to have a private island in Tahiti.
Is that right?
And it's just $14 million. And you have actually the caretakers on that particular property have lived there for, I think their families go back 100 years. So these same people have been on the island, raised their children there, and that, of course, comes along with the sale of this property, should you wish.
I would think that from a marketing standpoint, having radio show hosts do a site inspection, it would be in order, right?
So, actually, what was it? A week or 2 ago, you were talking about a town in Montana. Remember what I said?
Right.
I don't want a town. I want an island.
That's why I brought this up, Dino.
Excellent.
I'm here to serve you.
So when we come back from break, I want to hear a little bit more about the island because that sounds interesting. So if you would care to learn a little more about an island in Tahiti, right?
That is correct, yes.
Join us back in just a few minutes here on at the Dino and Nelson Show on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335, 888-814-3335. We'll join you again in just a few minutes with Steve and Sandy Powers.
In a chaotic real estate market, you want peace of mind when it comes to the home you're purchasing. Roadrunner Exterminating, a family-owned and operated company providing structural repairs, local treatments, and fumigation. Roadrunner Exterminating is a licensed, bonded, and insured expert in termite, pest control, and general contracting. For fast and efficient service, plus the peace of mind of knowing the condition of your new home, call Roadrunner Exterminating at 866-398-BUGS. That's 866-398-BUGS. Or on the web at roadrunnerexterminating.com. As always, mention the Dino and Nelson Show and get a free home inspection. 866-398-BUGS or roadrunnerexterminating.com. General Contractor License 922404. Nominal fee for escrow inspections.
Is there really a simple mortgage process? The answer is yes. At First Centennial Mortgage, our customers save money and close their loans quickly because we use the most advanced mortgage technology available and deliver the best rates and terms as a result. Offering 30-year fixed rates below 4% and 10-year fixed rates below 3%, all guaranteed on the kickoff of your application. Call 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or apply online at thedinoandnelsonshow.com.
The Dino and Nelson Show is brought to you by Best Chauffeured. Best Chauffeured offers personal chauffeur services for corporate events, large and small, and all types of people, not just celebrities. So next time you just want to relax and enjoy the ride, please call on Best Chauffeured Worldwide. It's effortless transportation and first-class service every time. Call 866-323-BEST. That's 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com. Mention KTLK's Dino and Nelson Show and receive a special discount. 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com. You want to invest in today's real estate market and take advantage of the low values, but the property needs work. What do? Polaris Equity Group provides an answer with its market-exclusive 100% rehab program. The Polaris loan covers the purchase price, down payment, rehab budget, 6 months of interest, and lender's costs, all in exchange for a profit split between you and us. Call Polaris Equity Group to hear more about it. 949-727-4333. That's 949-727-4333. Take advantage of their exclusive 100% rehab program. 949-727-4333. Or find us online at PolorusEquityGroup.com.
Welcome back to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. So before we broke, we were speaking with Steve Powers about the island in Tahiti, and it caught my eye because, like I said a few weeks ago, I want to buy an island. So, what's the sales price?
That property is listed at $14 million.
$14 million. So I got a couple questions. One, can I go preview it first, or is it kind of one of those things where I get to fly by and that's all I get, or do I get to go live on it for, say, a week or two? How does that work?
That's an excellent question. I think we can arrange all of that.
Excellent. With first-class service, though, right? Because I'm a potential buyer.
This is a first-class island, I would say so, yes.
Perfect. And then I'm guessing FHA, 3.5% down, amortized over 30 years, right?
Can I ask Nelson what we're going to do with that?
All right, so I don't qualify, is what you're saying.
I don't know.
It's funny, your attraction to islands. Did it come from Alcatraz or?
No, more the Greek islands where my family's from.
Your family roots, right?
That's right.
On the Greek Isle. Well, I wanted to turn our attention. We've looked at a couple of the estates and certainly an island in Tahiti. That's, I mean, wow, if only, right? But I wanted to look at just the Powers team specifically and some of the distinctives that distinguish you. Some of the things that
say that again? Some of the what?
It was redundant. It was out of the redundant Department of Redundancy. Yeah. But I really think it's important. You have a team put together. It's not just Steve and Sandy Powers. Tell me about the team format.
8 women, 1 male.
Yes, that's correct. We do have 8 women, and we have Charlie. And we have an amazing team of women. All of them have a talent different from each other. And so one of the nice things about being a team is you're not talking about one individual that has a specific talent. You're talking about bringing in a group of talent.
All different skill sets.
All different skill sets. Some are better negotiators. Some are better person, one-on-one. You know, it just really depends. And all of them bring something. It's been a great experience for us. And we're really family. We really do have a lot of fun, and that's important to us.
And as you've assembled this team, it's from all different experiences, right? It's not like you're just drawing from one business background or another. It's across the board, different experiences.
That is true. We've got very seasoned agents on our team that have been actually on the, in the industry for 35 years. We've got new people on the team that come from different backgrounds, business-wise. And we've got different people from different areas of Orange County that specialize in those specific areas that bring knowledge to us if we want to pursue those particular areas better.
You know, it's interesting. When we were on break, we were talking about some of the dynamics of having a team put together and a group of people. And one of them that stood out, I just wanted to prompt you on this and get your insights in terms of passion.
Oh, my goodness, yes. We're big on passion. We sort of have this motto about everything, and we're big John Wooden fans. So, we think about, that it's all about being prepared, and with that, being passionate about the preparation, as well as really being honest. And but we have we're sort of known as the cheerleaders of McMonigle.
Whoa. So I just met the team, but when you say passionate cheerleader, I just think of one thing, one name.
Okay.
Lisa Hoover.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, we love our Lisa.
My goodness.
And yeah, she is amazing. And people make fun of us because we have our pom-poms and we have our little cheers, and we have so much fun that comes with the passion and such great unity as a group. I'm just so proud of them. They're amazing women, and together we are able to create something really great for a client.
Dynamic group. Let me ask you, because you hear the word honesty throughout every business. Everybody tags that as their moniker, honesty, honesty, honesty. Mm-hmm. But you have this group dynamic. It promotes honesty. How does it do that?
I just think we're honest people to start,
right.
But we kind of keep each other accountable to that. All right. If there's a little bit of, going off the course a little bit, we have major discussions about it with the team. We actually have a secret Facebook page set up so that only the team members could actually communicate on it. And we talk about that didn't feel right. That didn't feel comfortable. How can we make this, be what we want it to be? And we're very transparent. It's a real big part of our business, and we pride ourselves on being the agents that will do that, is really be totally honest with clients about price, about time on market it's going to take to market this property, depending on the price point, what it's going to take to market it in terms of what the costs are. So we're very detail oriented, and we really do want that client to be well informed before we actually start it.
And it requires you to be brutally candid with the selling community. I mean, it's one of the challenges of someone that's selling their $400,000 condominium. Your competition is coming in and saying, gosh, it's a $400,000 or $500,000 condominium, but I think I have a buyer for $700,000. And it kind of tempts the seller to go down this direction, thinking that they could actually sell the property for more than it's worth.
That's true. And, knowledge is powerful. And what we bring to the table is, let's talk about those agents that are what we call buying the listing. Statistically, those properties on the market for a very long period of time. It always comes back. I mean, John McMonigle has a great saying, firstborn, second wife, third agent. And, so if it's overpriced, you will get it back. And being honest is the best way to do that.
Let me ask you, when that happens, if an agent overprices something just to get the listing, listing expires, how long does that typically take? 4 or 6 months? What's the average listing these days?
Oh, at least 6 months.
Okay, so 6 months later, the seller is unhappy with this agent and is now trying to find a new agent to sell their property. Does that make it more difficult to sell, since it has a stigma that it's been on the market for 6 months?
Not really. I think what you're going to do is price push. The price will push the sale. And so whether it's been on the market a long time or not, if you're able to get a price reduction on it, then it's going to create another frenzy of activity. And, whether it's the same agent or a new agent, usually you're going to take it out of the computer, start it as a new listing, start over with your broker previews, start over with your advertising campaign onto a whole new set of guidelines. Okay.
Because, with me, I guess I would have thought of it as, well, they can't sell and they must be getting desperate. So that's where I would think people come in with a little bit lower offers in a situation like that, and it might end up hurting the seller, all because the agent wasn't ethical to start with.
Well, that's true. That's why you do want to price it correctly in the beginning. Mm-hmm.
Which is why you need to call Steve and Sandy Powers, right?
That's correct. We want you to call us.
Dino, how do they get a hold of us?
They get a hold of us at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335. Or you can reach us at the DinoandNelsonShow.com, and we actually do have the Powers team all set up on there. You can reach them directly from there and get all their information.
So we have a chance with the Powers team that's joined us for today. We've met some of the members, and I wanted to have our listeners have a chance to meet Kelly Radetich and Brooke Meyer and Robin Gray Height, three key members of the Powers team at McMonigle. And I was really intrigued with this one piece when we were talking about just what is the Powers model. What are some of the things that define you? And it was shared with me that you actually encourage your customers to go out and meet with other agents in their selection process for you.
That is correct, Nelson. And it's funny that you bring three of us up at the same time right now, because one of our taglines talks about that you owe it to yourself as a seller to interview three agents.
And so from a sales standpoint, I just look at that, and Dino, you're probably a little bit intimidated by this because you don't want to invite your competition like myself into camp. What do you think about that?
No comment.
No comment. That's great. Is that a concern, though, in terms of going out and actually encouraging the client that you want to capture to go out and interview with the other agents?
Absolutely not, because it just shows how powerful we are, and we're willing to bring to the table what we have to offer, as long as allowing you as a seller to see what else is out there. So it's, we welcome our other agents in the industry because we're all going to work together. We're all going to do business together. And that's why we definitely make a tagline to our sellers to, please do interview three, but let the Powers team be one of them.
So the luxury market that you're all specializing in as a member of the Powers team, tell me a little bit about just the pace of the market. Is it a vibrant market, Robin, or is it a much more casual market? What do you find out there?
It looks like we're having sales across the board. The high end is moving. The high end is a bit stagnant.
And the high end would be what, 3 million and above, 4 million and above?
I would say 5 million and above.
5 million and above.
Right.
But in terms of what we talked about, your strike zone of the coastal communities with Long Beach, Huntington Harbor, moving down to Newport Beach, Newport Coast, Laguna Beach, those markets, there's plenty of opportunities that are well below 5 million, correct?
That's absolutely correct. Great buys out there.
And with that, you've spent the majority of your career with Huntington Harbor. When we get back, I want to just look at that market just a little bit more.
When we get back from our break, not only are we going to talk about Huntington Harbor, but also an auction, which I think is an interesting way to sell a house now in Huntington Harbor. I believe that the Powers team is doing. Meanwhile, we're going to take a quick little break. You can find some more information on the Powers team on our website at thedinoandnelsonshow.com. Thank you for listening. We'll be back in just a few minutes. This is the Dino and Nelson Show on K-Talk AM 1150. The phone number is 888-814-3335. 888-814-3335.
We have reviewed your application for credit, and at this time, we are unable to approve you. The dreaded credit denial letter. You've had strong credit, but life got in the way and companies are turning you down. The Dino and Nelson Show has a solution with Saving My Credit. Saving My Credit offers highly skilled specialists and a research methodology that is consistently applied to improving your financial situation. Nagging collection accounts, late pays, tax liens, bankruptcies, charge-offs are some of the many examples of negative reporting that leads to credit denial. Saving My Credit applies rigorous energy, experience, and resourcefulness to raise your credit score. Your credit is approved. It would feel so much better, wouldn't it? Contact Saving My Credit at 714-699-4680 or savingmycredit.com. That's 714-699-4680. 714-699-4680 or online at savingmycredit.com. What do you do when your bank simply says no to your real estate purchase? Polaris Equity Group provides an answer. Yes. Our flexible purchase and bridge loan programs are the direct result of our involvement in more than 3,000 transactions of varying size and complexity. Since 1991, Polaris has completed over $500 million in real estate investment transactions using both debt and equity solutions. When the bank says no, call Polaris Equity Group to hear yes. 949-727-4333. That's 949-727-4333. Logical decisions to execute a timely close. 949-727-4333. Or find us online at polarisequitygroup.com.
This is Nelson from the Dino and Nelson Show, and finally, a reputable legal firm. CDA Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435. 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435 or online at cdalawcenter.com.
Is there really a simple mortgage process? The answer is yes. At First Centennial Mortgage, our customers save money and close their loans quickly because we use the most advanced mortgage technology available and deliver the best rates and terms as a result, offering 30-year fixed rates below 4% and 10-year fixed rates below 3%, all guaranteed on the kickoff of your application. Call 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335 or apply online at thedinoandnelsonshow.com. In such a chaotic real estate market, don't you want peace of mind on the home you're purchasing? Roadrunner Exterminating is a family-owned and operated company providing structural repairs, local treatments, and fumigation. And you can feel confident because Roadrunner Exterminating is licensed, bonded, and insured, and are experts in termite and pest control. For fast and efficient service, plus the peace of mind on knowing the condition of your new home, call Roadrunner Exterminating at 866-398-2828. 866-398-2847. That's 866-398-2847, or on the web at roadrunnerexterminating.com. As always, mention the Dino and Nelson Show and get a free home inspection. 866-398-2847 or roadrunnerexterminating.com.
The Dino and Nelson Show is brought to you by Best Chauffeured. Best Chauffeured offers personal chauffeur services for corporate events, large and small, and all types of people, not just celebrities. So next time you just want to relax and enjoy the ride, please call on Best Chauffeured Worldwide. It's effortless transportation and first-class service every time. Call 866-323-BEST. That's 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com. Mention KTLK's Dino and Nelson Show and receive a special discount. 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com.
Welcome back to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335 or at the DinoandNelsonShow.com. This segment is being brought to you by Saving My Credit, experts in repairing credit scores. Right now, we're bringing up a topic that I think is interesting. I actually don't know much about it, but it's auctions, the new way of selling homes. And I wanted to ask you, how does the auction work?
It's another way of selling homes, as you said, and it is specific to a particular kind of property. It isn't for everyone.
Is it mostly a high-end property?
No, it doesn't have to just be a high-end, although we specialize in the higher end. So the auctions we've been participating in and have had great success with have been luxury properties. They auction properties off at all levels, but our particular niche is the higher-end auction.
And don't you have one coming up right now?
We do. We actually have one that's coming up in Long Beach, and I'll let Robin speak to that since it's her listing. But we've had two that have just gone through auction, and one of them just recently closed. It was a 2.1. We actually put a reserve price on it that was around $1.7 million, and we pushed it up to $2.1 million because the perception of auction is always that you get the better deal. And, even these properties really are a good deal, even at those higher price points. Perception's everything, and, people want to jump in and be a part of it.
So is this like something you see in the movies where you got that fast talker and you got a bunch of people sitting in a room raising their hands, or is it an online thing, or does it take a month to complete the auction, or is it all in a 1 hour span?
Actually, it is online, okay, and it takes about 6 to 8 weeks. There is a large marketing program that goes into it, and that takes some time to get out there to everyone. If you want to know more about this auction, you ought to call John McMonigle. He's just doing a great job with it, and part of our team. So it's just another layer of marketing that we've been able to be exposed to. And we have an amazing auction team behind us that can be more specific about how it all works. But let's talk to Robin about what she does with her auction that's coming up. I'm excited about it.
Robin, I have a couple specific questions for that, but Dino, it's just that. The auction platform is not how you and I are picturing that in terms of somebody behind the pedestal and there is that quick talk and people pointing to one side of the crowd or the other. It's, as I understand it, and correct me, Robin, if I'm wrong, but the attraction to the auction platform is that it really concentrates the sale process. Instead of maybe an 8-month or 6-month marketing time and ferreting out different candidate buyers and going through numerous open houses and things of that nature, you have a really restricted window that carries the property from marketing to close. How does that work?
That's absolutely true. As Sandy said, it's condensed down into about 2 months total, start to finish. We do a lot of marketing on the property locally and on the websites. The house is staged. There are open houses. There's a major open house the weekend before the bidding concludes. And then all of the bidders can register and bid up until the closing at 7 o'clock on the following Wednesday.
And so you establish a reserve price. Obviously, that can't be public knowledge. So this reserve price is your agreed upon price with the seller if the property sells for this or greater than the sale actually executes.
That's absolutely
correct. If it doesn't sell if it only bids up below reserve, then it doesn't sell, obviously,
That's
correct?
correct.
So there's comfort from the seller. They know that at a minimum, they're not subject to somebody coming in and on a $1.8 million property, somebody bidding $500,000 and then them taking a long walk going, oh, we just gave away our property.
That's
it's not
right.
that at all.
That's right. You have a reserve price that is not published, but on the online auction, a green light goes on when the reserve is met. So all of the bidders know when the reserve is met, and the ultimate highest price will take the property.
For more information, go to our website, thedinoandnelsonshow.com, and we'll put you in touch with Robin and the whole Powers team, and then you can get your one-on-one information, right? And then hopefully next week we can even bring John McMonigle on, who can be a little more specific about the auction and how it works. Let's talk a little bit about what we do, too, because there is the whole mortgage frenzy right now with the interest rates and all, right?
Yeah, interest rates are obviously at a place where they're very attractive. And some of the conversations that we have out there are people generally perceiving that it's hard to qualify or banks don't want to loan money and that qualifying is impossible. And I think that's something we should probably talk about in terms of the bank's willingness and guidelines loosening up where people actually do qualify.
It's gotten a lot easier. It really has.
I think the segment of the business that was carved out are people that, when going back 4 or 5 years, that couldn't demonstrate that they could qualify for the property, but they had perhaps a lot of assets, or they had great credit. They had maybe a history of owning properties, some free and clear, but they couldn't prove their income. And that's really the carve out as our industry is recovered from the mortgage meltdown, where those people are still unable to finance, but the industry's gone back to lending money to people that can demonstrate they can actually pay it back, right?
Yep, not to mention we actually have people that have jobs again, right?
Well, and yeah, obviously as people return to work,
that was
that
kind of
helps.
tough to qualify for a while if you didn't have a job.
Well, and I think that's the stated income programs or the no income qualifying programs. Obviously, those hurt our industry because of people getting in over their heads, over their skis too much and qualifying for debt that they just couldn't financially handle.
Yeah, that's still one of those things that just bugs the heck out of me because I know a lot of people are down on the stated income loans. Right, or as people like to call them after the meltdown, the liar's loan. But in reality, though, it's always been there. If you got, in the past, it was 20% down. Well, let's just bump it up. If you have 30% down and you have good credit and you show that you can pay your bills on time, why not give somebody a loan? Maybe bump the interest rate a little bit, but why not give them a loan? Well,
and we see this in the luxury market, certainly. And I know Stephen Sandy and the balance of the Powers team can speak to this in terms of people that are extremely financially successful. They have significant assets, both liquid and real estate holdings, but they also have equal success with their accounting firms on sheltering their income. And that's a difficult spot because they want to enter the market. Maybe they choose not to purchase all cash and they do want a debt piece to their purchase, but that's still difficult.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. There's a guy up in Newport Coast, it was about 3 years ago, and was trying to qualify him for a loan. Self-employed guy, over $2 million in the bank, house worth, gosh, I think it was $2 million, and he owed I'm trying to remember, maybe $500,000. All he wanted to do was refinance for a lower rate.
So high liquidity, high equity,
never
low loan balance.
Been late on a payment before, 800 plus credit score,
and he's on the sidelines.
And on top of that, he's a nice guy, and I couldn't get him a loan.
Yeah,
I mean, how crazy is that?
Well, and I think that's changing. I'll tell you a couple of things that are happening on the mortgage rates, and this is great news. We've talked about record low interest rates and 30-year fixed rates being below 4%, 15-year fixed rates threatening to go below 3%. But I wanted to make certain you were aware. I saw this morning for higher balance loans in this luxury category, loans up to $1.5 million, $1.5 million, 30-year fixed rate priced as well below 4%. I couldn't believe it.
Right. Yeah, no, I remember you came into my office and you asked, did you see the rates yet this morning?
Yeah, no, and I look at that as just in that who would have thunk category in terms of extremely low interest rates and up to $1.5 million. So this kind of interest rate opportunity isn't just reserved for people that are borrowing $417,000 or less.
Right, absolutely. And just remember, it is a roller coaster out there. So you can't time the market. You just gotta jump in, get it done, and if rates drop down the road, then you refinance again. It's no big deal, but you got to jump in. Otherwise, one of these days you are just going to miss it. Sitting on the fence doesn't work. Thank you for listening to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335, 888-814-3335, or at the DinoandNelsonShow.com. See you next week.
In a chaotic real estate market, you want peace of mind when it comes to the home you're purchasing. Roadrunner Exterminating, a family-owned and operated company providing structural repairs, local treatments, and fumigation. Roadrunner Exterminating is a licensed, bonded, and insured expert in termite, pest control, and general contracting. For fast and efficient service, plus the peace of mind of knowing the condition of your new home, call Roadrunner Exterminating at 866-398-BUGS. That's 866-398-BUGS. Or on the web at roadrunnerexterminating.com. As always, mention the Dino and Nelson Show and get a free home inspection. 866-398-BUGS or roadrunnerexterminating.com. General Contractor License 922404. Nominal fee for escrow inspections.
Is there really a simple mortgage process? The answer is yes. At First Centennial Mortgage, our customers save money and close their loans quickly because we use the most advanced mortgage technology available and deliver the best rates and terms as a result, offering 30-year fixed rates below 4% and 10-year fixed rates below 3%, all guaranteed on the kickoff of your application. Call 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335, or apply online at thedinoandnelsonshow.com.